We've been asked to graph the function f of x equals secant of x from negative pi to 2 pi. So in Desmos, I type f of x equals secant of x. I can do a brace, and I can do the restriction on the domain. So I type negative pi, and as soon as I type pi, it gives me the symbol pi. I type less than, and then I type the equal symbol, and you notice it changes that to less than or equal to. X less than equal 2 times pi. So you notice it's now graphing the secant function on a domain from negative pi up to 2 pi. It stops at negative pi and it stops at 2 pi. Back to the problem. It asks me in the first bullet point to label the x-axis from negative 3 pi over 2 up to 5 pi over 2, and we want to use increments of pi over 4. What I'm going to do in Desmos is I'm going to go to this wrench, which is the graph settings up in the top right-hand corner, and I select that. In the x-axis, I'm going to change the step to pi over 4. Pi over 4. You'll notice, I'm going to uncheck that settings. You'll notice, 3, 2. I'm going to also change the x-axis labels here from negative 3 pi over 2 up to 5 pi over 2. Notice every time you type the pi, Desmos understands and changes that to pi. So now the x-axis is going to be labeled from negative 3 pi over 2 up to 5 pi over 2 with increments of pi over 4. The second bullet point asks me to label the exact local max and local min points with those points, x, comma, y. We want to have exact labels, not rounded decimals like 3.14. So I can add points such as negative pi, comma, negative 1. That's the local max at our starting point here. I check the label box. I can have the point 0, comma, 1. I check the label box. I can have the point pi, comma, negative 1. I check the label box. And 2 pi, comma, 1. I check the label box. So I've labeled all the local max and local min on this domain. Next, it asks to add the graphs of the vertical asymptotes on this restricted domain and make sure that they're dashed. So we see that we have a vertical asymptote at x equals negative pi over 2. I'm going to go to the left side of that and hold down my left mouse button. And then I select the dashed line. And then I repeat. We have another vertical asymptote at x equals pi over 2. Again, I hold down the left mouse button. I'm going to change it to dashed. I'm going to change that to blue. I'm going to actually go back to this one and change that one to blue as well. And lastly, we have a vertical asymptote at x equals 3 pi over 2 and change that to a dashed blue line. And now we've satisfied every aspect of this problem.